I have seen several issues related to beneficiary designations when they are not looked at as a part of the estate plan, or as a part of the estate planning process we discover issues. A couple of those issues would be where an individual has named one child as the beneficiary at his or her death, or as a contingent beneficiary after the surviving spouse passes or doesn't survive, and yet the person doesn't have just one child. They could have 2 or 3 children, and their intention was really to provide for all 3 children, but they've only named one. Another issue I have seen many times is where a young family has a small child and immediately are concerned about making sure that child will have enough financial resources to be raised properly if something happens to the parents prematurely. So they get a life insurance policy, and they pick the family member that they intend to name as guardian as the beneficiary of the life insurance policy without a trust, so that if the parents both pass and the insurance proceeds are paid to this family member, now the family member actually owns the money rather than a trust for the child. So that is usually not the intention of the insured, but really the goal is to provide for the minor child, which that could be done through a trust and directing the life insurance policies proceeds into the trust. IRAs and 401ks, while they're held in the participant's account, are tax deferred. So any earnings from the assets, any growth, they're all tax deferred until the account is distributed to either the account owner in the future or to someone named as a beneficiary of the account. With life insurance proceeds, those proceeds are income tax free, which is huge. A lot of people think that whoever receives life insurance proceeds has to pay income tax on them, and that is not the case in most cases. There are always exceptions, but in the typical life insurance policy, those proceeds are going to be income tax free to the recipient. In addition to the income tax aspect of those types of assets, they're also exempt from creditors. Life insurance proceeds are exempt from creditors of the recipient, and also the 401k and the IRA funds are exempt from creditors. So when you are naming beneficiary designations, you need to be careful that you don't inadvertently change that characteristic. For instance, if you name the beneficiary of a life insurance policy to be the estate of the insured, suddenly those creditor exempt assets are now subject to the creditors of the decedent's estate. And to avoid that is very important to the extent you can.